Hi there, welcome to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Felicia Mesadieu. I am a creative and designer based out of Houston, Texas. Currently, I work for a startup tech company in the aesthetic space, and I freelance on the side. Here on my channel, I love to talk about design and life and what I'm doing to level up on my journey. So if that sounds like something we have in common, then this is the place to be. Today, I am going to be discussing the last few weeks and months within the boot camp. I am a CourseCareers UI UX bootcamp student, and I have been enrolled in the program since last November. Okay, let's get down to business with the user personas. So after the affinity map was created, I moved over to the next phase of the case study, which is the user personas. This is all still very new to me, so I just want to read the notes that I have so that I can describe what a user persona is correctly. In a few months, I'm gonna have this down packed. I won't even notes. What notes? Not necessary. User personas are representations of the potential users of the app that you are designing or researching for. In my case, the app is Farm Finder. User personas promote empathy by allowing us to focus on the individual rather than the group of interviewers. The idea of this exercise is to make the user that you have in mind or that you're designing for a real person, and a real person that's driven by needs and circumstances.
I want to take a little dive into the user personas.
The approach that I took to design my user persona was through the action of reviewing all the research data that I collected from the interviews and surveys prior to this exercise. Then moving it a step forward, I created a fictional name and occupation, and then I entered all of that information into Chat GPT and asked Chat GPT to create a user persona based on the description I gave it. I further refined the information that Chat GPT gave me for the user persona. I gave the user persona its unique name and location, and I made any other necessary changes. So with this exercise, I liked it. I liked it a lot because I felt like I had an advantage because I actually went out to the field and collected those real life interviews. Boot to grass, was out there getting the information that I needed, actually talking to the people, and I feel like I made a connection there. So I felt that when I was doing the user personas, it felt real because I actually talked to these people. I collected information, but I didn't collect their life's story. I didn't know some of these people's occupations, and I didn't know their age group. There were things that were left out of the conversation that I had to piece together as I was creating a story for them for the user persona. So in that regard, moving forward, doing the next case study that I do when I have to interview people, that's all information that I want to collect because it'll help me to create the storyline for the user persona. And that's the part where you really have to get creative. So I was able to get creative in that regard and come up with ages, a story, an occupation, and make the user more relatable.
Now, I specifically created my user personas in Adobe Express. I wanted a certain look to follow my color palette that I've been using throughout this case study, and I just thought it would be easier to create them in Adobe Express as opposed to doing it in Figma. And I was having some troubles in Figma, so I just decided to go with Adobe Express, and I liked how it turned out. So in the course, the instructor says that you need to do like a minimum of, I think, 2 to 3. I chose to do 5. I felt like 5 was a really good number, and it also matched all of the data that I collected. I interviewed over 12 people, or up to 12 people, and I felt like I needed to utilize all that data that I received. So I created 5 user personas, and I think that that worked best for me. I interviewed a diverse group of people when I went to the farmer's market, and I wanted to reflect that in my user personas that I created in Adobe Express. So here are all 5 of the user personas, but let's take a look at 2 specifically. The first user persona is Gloria Martinez. Her age is 44. She lives in Houston, Texas. Now, Gloria Martinez is a fictional person that I created for the user persona. However, I did interview someone who had a similar background and occupation. She was also similar to this ethnicity. She had similar wants and needs and pain points. So I included her bio in the user persona, her wants and her needs. And we can focus on her wants and needs in this video. So I talked about how this user specifically desires reliable current information about farmers markets, including schedules, locations, and vendors. Transparency was also something that was important. And then specific produce availability. She wanted to use an app that is easy to use and helps her streamline the process of finding specific food items that's reliable at the farmer's market. As I made the person that I interviewed a user persona, I drew conclusions that she would want to have an app that is easy to use and helps her streamline the process. I also included her experience. She routinely shops at farmers markets every Saturday and how she finds them, which is online through Google and Facebook. I included her favorite types of farmers markets, and I included pain points, which is inconsistent information, difficulty finding specific produce, and presence of resellers. Okay, the next person I want to focus on is Brianna Martin. Brianna Martin is 26 years old, lives in Pearland, Texas, a law school student, and single. She's a native of Louisiana who recently located to Texas, and I did interview someone who was of a similar background, ethnicity, and who had moved from Louisiana to Texas. But I had to give this person, the user persona, a fictional name and kind of give it create more of a story around the user. Because the interviewee is not going to tell you exactly everything about them. So you have to draw those conclusions and create that story. To that point, I listed her bio. I listed her wants and needs. She wanted access to variety, confidence and freshness, transparency, ingredient information, community support, convenient information access, and culinary exploration. Now, one thing that this individual wanted that I based this user persona off of, the person that I interviewed her and she told me that she wanted a farmer's market that would communicate that whether or not it was dog friendly. She wanted to go to a farmer's market that allowed dogs there, and she really wasn't interested in going to a farmer's market that didn't allow dogs there. And so that was important for me to communicate in this user persona. So I did that, and I talked about that in the favorite types of farmers markets that she likes. I also included her experience, which is right above the favorite types of farmers markets. So I included her experience. I included the favorite types of farmers markets. And I talk about how she likes going to a farmer's market with a variety of fresh produce, knowledgeable vendors, a strong sense of community. Community was very important to the person that I interviewed that I based Brianna Martin off of. And so I wanted to communicate that also in this user persona. And I also communicated the pain points. Okay, so that is a brief overview of the user personas that I created for this case study. If you are someone that's interested into pivoting into UI UX, or you want to see what the course is about, CourseCareers does offer a free UI UX course. I definitely suggest you taking that to see if it's something that you're interested in.
I took the free course and it actually helped me in making the decision in whether or not I wanted to actually purchase the program. So I definitely recommend you taking the free course. See if it's something that you're interested in and if it's something that you might want to pursue in the future. If you're interested in taking the free course, I will have that link down in my description box and in the comment section. All right, well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you got some value out of this video and your engagement really helped. So if you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you have any comments, please comment down in the comment section. I just appreciate you watching the video and I will see you in the next one. Thank you, bye.